Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah. I'm travelling around Scotland at the moment, having an absolute brilliant time. I showed a little bit in video 1 of Scotland, all about our travels so far, as we went to Isle of Mull mainly and a few other places. It was absolutely brilliant and the weather was amazing. Join me in this part of the video for even more adventures. We get lost in Glencoe, and then the weather is absolutely so bad overnight. The wind is terrible. I thought the van was actually going to blow over. I didn't even know it was possible, but we couldn't get anywhere. We was absolutely trapped. Then I finally find the hidden swimming pool, sometimes known as the meeting of the three sisters, but a couple of people said that that's not right too. It's not called that. But anyway, I found it. I got in. It was freezing. I got bit by loads of midges. The only time that I've been bit so far is there. And then we go to Loch Ness. We find the Loch Ness monster, and we get attacked by a Highland cow. So loads and loads of fun. Then we carry on going all the way up the east coast. We go to the Whaligoe Steps. Oh my word, there are so many steps, it's unbelievable, but it's beautiful as well. Then we go to Sinclair Castle, which is absolutely beautiful, a ruins of a castle. And then we make it all the way up to John O'Groats. So come and join me for this amazing part of our adventures.
We got up really early, enjoyed the sunset and left the Isle of Mull, heading to Oban. We managed to catch a beautiful rainbow too.
Looks like it's going to be okay, although it's forecast to rain all day. Very beautiful. Stinks though, like fury. They're inside, they don't want to come out here. Missing out though.
I loved being on top deck watching Oban on the ferry. Whilst we was on the ferry, I was looking over, and what I spotted was this really strange castle. So I couldn't wait to get there and explore and find out what it was. Now, this incredible monument is called McCaig's Tower, and it was built in 1897. I thought it was going to be steeped in history, but actually what it really is a banker that built it to keep all the people in work whilst there was lots of recessions going on. My girl seemed to enjoy climbing the trees most, but there were beautiful views over Oban. And then next we headed to Glencoe.
Now, I'd heard about this dipping pond on the internet, and I was like, I have got to find it. It looks amazing. And I got off at like the normal car park by Glencoe, where the three sister mountains are, and I spent absolutely ages walking around, and could I find it? Not at all. And then just about as I was going to leave, I headed up and I saw a little waterfall, and we were just about to go and give up, and I was like, that looks like it. And I had to scramble up part of a hill to find it, and then I was like, I am getting in this. It was so much fun and so cold and beautiful, all rolled into one. I'm so glad I found it. I've done another little YouTube video just about that, so you don't have to get lost like I did, and you'll be able to find it. So check that out if you can't find it.
So here are the beautiful mountains, the Three Sisters they're known as. And when I'd seen videos about this dipping pond, I just thought, oh, it's going to be somewhere around here. But honestly, I spent ages looking for it, and it just wasn't there. I walked all the way around the paths, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's nowhere to be found. There were a few people about, but nobody walking really. It seemed that people were just coming out of coaches, taking some photographs, and off they were going. There were not many people walking about. And I was just driving off, leaving, and I saw this waterfall, and I was like, this is the one. I parked up and headed across this road, and then I knew it was on the top and the waterfall went down. So climbed over this wall and started scrambling up the top to the top of this cliff, and it was a little bit dangerous, but I found it. Look how beautiful it is. And of course got in the water and enjoyed some beautiful cold water therapy and the obligatory photo shoot, of course.
Oh, last night the weather was awful. It rained and it rained and it rained and it didn't stop raining, and the wind was so bad I hardly slept at all. The van was blowing all over. Oh, the window is leaking water, and I'm just glad it's morning. At one point in the night I thought I was going to go, but we couldn't leave because they were doing road works, and one of the roadmen did say, like, we're going to close the road overnight. There'll only be a few points if you want to leave. And I'd seen all the traffic and I'd seen the cones that they put out because they were resurfacing it, so I was kind of stuck. Oh dear. But the weather's calmed down now. That was probably the worst night's sleep that I've had in the van so far. But we survived and the van didn't blow over. Hailing, raining, bit of sun, bit of rain, rain, whatever that is called, rain, you know. Can't see.
Rain on the inside because of the wind. So we set off to Loch Lomond to find Loch Ness. Had to stop on a few places because it was just so beautiful. I can't believe how beautiful it was everywhere. We found a really good Loch Ness museum. So we went inside, we found the Loch Ness. It was a really interesting place because you could find out all about Loch Ness, all the history, all the research that had happened to find out about the Loch Ness. There was a video as well, and lots of things to do inside. My children particularly liked just pretending to swim by the Loch Ness here. That was their most. And getting in the treasure box. They liked that. But they learnt so much, and they decided that Loch Ness was actually probably one of the dinosaurs that was left over. Tried on my hat. They wasn't keen.
One of the things that we must do in Scotland was see the Highland cows. They're so famous. I thought they were going to be everywhere, but honestly, there's not as many about as I thought there was. So we saw this experience. It's at a tea shop, and you can go and see their Highland cows. You can eat there as well, feed them, get interactive with them, but oh my goodness, some of them had just had calves, so they were grumpy, but in a good way because they were protecting their calves. Of course, I get it. And they have the biggest horns, and they was like getting us with these massive horns. They did say, the owners, like, watch their horns, and oh my word, you actually really have to watch them. You have to get like real close to stuff.
Why?
It's like it
Yeah, they've got those hard tongues, haven't they?
That was going. Oh no, he keeps racing.
That's harmless.
I think it's all good. You got worried about. Oh, I'm just letting his mouth.
We had a great time feeding the cows. We took one last look on the beautiful Loch Ness, had a little walk with the dog, and then we was going to head all the way over to Inverness, but unfortunately there'd been an accident and it took a really long time, so we did a bit of a detour the east coast at Fort Rose to meet some friends. It took ages because there was a big traffic incident, but Fort Rose was beautiful. We didn't actually see any seals this time or dolphins, but we had a really great time on the beach. And then we was heading over to see the Mermaid of the North, which is steeped around all the traditions of fishing, of the sea, and a great monument and statue to celebrate the area, really. But before we did that, we headed off to one of the forestry commissions to stay over and cook some beautiful food. Off to the Fairy Glen. My friends told me about another waterfall, so I had to go check it out. We had a really nice walk to it. Unfortunately, the bridge was broken, so we couldn't go across the bridge at all. It just finished in the middle of the water, so we found this log to climb across, and we managed to carry on the rest of the track to find the waterfalls. There was a beautiful lake as well, so all the kids had a look there. It really did feel like a fairy place here at this waterfall. Absolutely beautiful, and obviously I was straight in after that walk, and it was quite hot really. It was really nice and refreshing to get into the water, a few poses of course as usual, and then get right in, feel that cold water therapy. Absolutely loved it. And we was really lucky because there was not one, but actually 2 waterfalls. So we just headed up around this waterfall, saw the money tree, and then there was another waterfall. Even though I just got dressed and dried, knowing that there was another waterfall, I had to just get into my swimming costume again, go across here through this fence so I could get to the waterfall. The kids all enjoyed just playing by the water, and I was in again, this time getting fully dunked and absolutely wet through. Feeling nice and refreshed after the waterfall, it was time to head back along this beautiful walk, seeing the waterfalls. And the children also found a really good tree swing. Now, I absolutely love water, so when I heard that there was a mermaid in the sea, I thought, I've got to go see that. I need to see the mermaid. So off we go to see the mermaid. It did not disappoint. The Mermaid of the North was absolutely massive. It was really good to see. The kids enjoyed pond dipping, but in particular, they enjoyed finding this, which they was convinced was a cannon, but I think it must be part of a fishing boat with one of the reels that brings in the line. So that was a good find. Very, very exciting for all the children, that's for sure. And it's lovely to have company and have friends here. Next on the agenda was a lighthouse. This is Loch Ness. It's a beautiful lighthouse and I love the way it's red and white striped. Apparently it's the third tallest one in the country. It's got some beautiful views at the top of the cliffs as well. Great view out to sea. Sometimes you can catch some dolphins here, but we weren't so lucky this time. But it was very, very beautiful. Now, we've been staying at the sides of the road, so we was absolutely desperate this time to find a campsite to get a shower, and we found this really lovely stopover place. You did pay to go in, but it wasn't like a campsite. It had showers and toilets and somewhere to stay overnight. It was really clean. A place to empty your toilets as well. So you pay online. It was a great little stopover. Managed to do a little workout, wash and do everything we needed. Then I was channeling. Now I know we'd already gone to feed the cows, the Highland cows, and it was such a beautiful experience, but I wanted to see them in a more wild situation as well. And I'd heard that they had some Highland cows on the beach. So we headed to the beach to find the cows. Check this out. So this is Brora, a beach and a golf course where often there are Highland cows roaming free all the way around, just grazing, living their best life.
No cows. So sad. A bit rainy.
The beach was really beautiful and the kids enjoyed making some sandcastles on the beach. But we didn't see any cows this time. But they are often there and they'd been there this morning apparently, and there was definitely evidence on the grass that there had been Highland cows here. So yeah, we didn't see them today, and the dog had a good roll in something stinky, so we got to wash that off, so not all wasted. We headed on our journey and I'd promised the children that we would go and get the best hot chocolate ever. We headed for a place called Cocoa Mountain and it did not disappoint.
The Whaligoe Steps is quite a landmark in the NC500. It's definitely on there on lots of forums and books of somewhere to go. I definitely wanted to check it out. I knew there were going to be a lot of steps. And oh my word, there were a lot of steps. The Whaligoe Steps is steeped in history. We were really lucky to meet a man, and he was like an unofficial tour guide and told us all about the Whaligoe Steps, why they were there, that is where the whales went, all the history. And oh my goodness, the ladies or the women that worked there, the fisher women, had to carry all the baskets of fish up and down those stairs so many times. I can't believe it. Once was enough. They must have been really, really strong. But when you get down there, it's an absolutely beautiful view as well. And you can just imagine there's like lots, what it was like in the past, because there's lots of things kicking around to let you imagine what it's like.
And here is our unofficial guide who told us all about this beautiful place. I mean, the views are magnificent. You get to see out all the cliffs and the ocean, and sometimes you can see whales, and there are a lot of steps. The children did have a bit of a moan doing this, but they did enjoy it. When we got down there was lots to explore and lots to do. We stopped off to get something to eat by the cannons, and then we were back on our journey. The next thing we were going to see were some amazing castle
Scotland
ruins.
is famous for its castles, and this is the first one that we are going to see in Scotland so far. This one is Castle Sinclair. It's a ruined one. It was absolutely amazing. So beautiful setting as well.
This castle was really good because you could get really into it, even though it was an old ruin. Normally places like this would be closed off, but it was really amazing because you could get right to it, really have a good look around. There were a few bits fenced off, not that that stopped us, but yeah, really good castle. And my friend who is an explorer, Chillers Explorers, really loved this. So this is one of the main reasons we went, and we really did enjoy it. Just the cliffs were amazing and all the stones. So yeah, highly recommend this castle. I really liked seeing it. We then looked for a place to stay overnight, and we looked on Park for Free, an app, and found this really lovely place. It had bins. It didn't have any toilets, but it was a place that you could park, and it had a lovely monument. You could walk along the cliffs, and there was a place that you could walk down, and a bit of a jetty, I think they're called, and it was really beautiful to just have a look around and appreciate the sea, have something to eat before we headed to our final bit on the east coast.
Our final part of the east coast, and then we're heading along, was John O'Groats. John O'Groats, the absolute top highest, I don't know what you were, the highest point of England, Scotland, is John O'Groats. I don't really know what to expect because I haven't looked into this, but I know it's somewhere that we've got to go if we're here. So that's where we're going next. Check it out, see what it's all about.
Now we found the actual sign, John O'Groats. While they were there was some beautiful things to see, lots of little shops to buy trinkets, and some beautiful houses. We were lucky with the weather, it was nice and blue. You could walk all the way along the jetty, and we decided as well we'd have something to eat and get an ice cream whilst we were there. Now, we did get an ice cream, but it was really, really windy at John O'Groats. You can tell by my hair here. We all had ice cream. We was all happy. We had our photos, and then disaster struck. Delilah dropped her ice cream on the floor, and she was so sad. But we managed to salvage, and it was time to head along the north coast.
Thank you so much for following and watching along our journey. We've had an absolute brilliant time on the east coast, and we've just found out that actually this isn't the most northern point, or it's not the most highest point, it's the most northern point, but there is a higher point. So we're going to check that out quickly, and then we're going to head over all across to the west coast. So come with us as we explore. We're going to go see some beautiful beaches, Smoo Cave. Hopefully we get to do some zip lining, because there's a beach where you can zip line across it. That sounds amazing. So we're going to check that out, and then head down the west coast, which is supposed to be absolutely beautiful. And there's quite a few things that we've got on our list, so come and join us for that if you would like to. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's been lovely to have you with us. Thank you so much for watching.